So, how are you all?
Sir.
We are
Everyone?
great, Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
That's good. So today we are going to discuss page number.
Page number 48, 49, and 50.
And 50.
Okay, very good, mashallah. So today's topic is dissolution. Yes, beta, Sadia, Sadar, please mute yourself. Everyone. Asha, beta, mute yourself.
It is Okasha.
What I said? Yes, beta. So dissolution. Okay. What is this method? This is actually dissolving the things. Okay. And in this method, what we do, the process, and where solute dissolves in solvent. Okay. So in this method, what we do solute which get dissolved in solvent to form solution, or we can say solute particles pass into solution. Okay. And what is this method? Basically, this method is used when one of the component is soluble in a solvent and other insoluble in the same solvent. Okay, as it is written here in page 48. So this thing is clear, dissolution. Remember this thing, that solute particle is dissolved, okay, and it pass into the solution. And in this thing, one thing, solvent which gets insoluble in the same solvent. One of the component gets soluble and another component is insoluble in the same thing or in the same solvent. So this is the main thing. You have to remember this thing. And what are the examples? Yes, Ammar Zahid, there are some examples given here for dissolution. Please tell me that, Ammar Zahid, on page number 48. Yes, beta, Ammar Zahid, are you not there? Yes, boys. Yes, Dua Khan.
Yes, sir. Please repeat your question.
I'm saying that dissolution, there is some example is given in your book. Please tell me that.
Sir, I tell?
On page number 48, some example is given, okay, for
Yes, sir.
dissolution. Please tell me that what's given over here.
Sir, to separate sand from salt.
Water, okay, means you have to
Water.
okay, you have to separate sand from salt. Water is used as a solvent, okay.
Yes.
So what we are doing, we are dissolving salt, get dissolved in water, and what left behind, the insoluble thing, that is sand. Okay, as it is given in the previous paragraph, one of the component is insoluble. So one thing gets dissolved and the other thing remains undissolved. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So there's another examples
Sir,
given.
it is given on page 3.10.
Yes, beta, 3.10.
Yes, sir. Sedimentation, decantation, separation, sand from water.
Okay, I will coming on this topic also. First, complete this one. Okay, and another thing is given that to remove sulfur product from the sawdust. Yes, yes, Mehta. Now, will you tell me what is sawdust? Yes, anyone can tell me what is sawdust?
Sir, sawdust is the dust which is present in the grains when they are threshed.
Sawdust is a dust which are present in the grains.
No, sir, it's not present in the grains. Like it's somewhat related to that. I don't exactly know.
Okay, Basically, sawdust is just we can say a
Very
powdered.
powdery form of the wood. Like when we
Okay.
cut wood, get some
We can
powder.
say the shavings of the wood. Okay, you usually see that when carpenter comes, they start shaving the wood, and that powdered form, we make the powdered form, that is called sawdust. Okay, so and what we are doing here, we have to remove sulfur powder from the sawdust, and we know that carbon disulfide is used as a solvent in this case. And what is the formula of carbon disulfide? Anyone? Yes, boys. Mohammad Adib.
Yes, sir. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Okay. What is the formula of carbon disulfide?
Carbon disulfide.
Yes, PHIDE. Don't Google. You know, then you tell me. Boys, what happened to you? Yes, Sumayya Aziz, you there?
So the form, so you are asking the formula of carbon disulfide.
Yes, yes, yes.
Sir, CS2.
So cell,
CS2. You know it or
So
you search
because
it? You know it
so
or you
because
search
the
it?
formula of carbon dioxide is C2 and S is the formula for sulfur. So it should be C2. I think CS2.
Yes, CS2. You know it or you search it?
I just tried to build up. I did not search it. I just tried to build up because carbon dioxide, we know that it is C and the sulfur is S. So
sir, I
just-
don't, sir, because we have not ever studied about carbon
Okay,
disulfide and its
okay.
formula, and
Just
I
I'm
don't
asking,
remember.
maybe
to
that
search for
you,
it.
if you, as I mentioned, these pages yesterday, maybe you go through it. Okay. So CS2 stands for carbon disulfide. Okay. So what we're seeing here in sulfur powder from the sawdust, carbon dioxide is used as solvent. You know, sulfur dissolves in carbon disulfide solvent and heating and leaving behind the sawdust. Okay, when we put sulfur in carbon disulfide, it gets dissolved, and what is left in the beaker? Sawdust is left in the beaker. Okay, and uh, we do evaporation also to get sulfur is obtained in this way. Okay, first what we have to do, we have to remove sulfur powder from the sawdust. For that, we use carbon disulfide as a solvent. Then the sulfur get dissolved in carbon disulfide, leaving behind what left over. What left over? Sawdust is left over. Then, after doing evaporation of the solvent, sulfur is obtained. Okay. Yes. Sheikh Vidyan. Yes, Sheikh Vidyan. Boys,
Yes, sir.
beta, please conclude this thing dissolution. Fast, beta. Rehma Khalid, fast.
Yes, sir.
Please conclude this thing. Give me a brief of dissolution.
So in this, you explain that dissolution. So it is the method. Like for example, we have to separate from sand from salt.
Okay.
We used water as a solvent,
Mhm.
and when salt dissolved in the water,
Yes.
then some insoluble substance are left in, that is like sand. So, sir, when salt is dissolved in water, the leftover is sand. So,
And there's another thing of sulfur also is given. What is that for sulfur? For
yes,
sulfur,
to
there's
remove
another thing
sulfur.
from
yes, to remove sulfur powder from sawdust, we take the carbon sulfide
Hmm.
as a solvent,
Okay.
and then when sulfur dissolve in the carbon
Sir, I can't
sulfide,
hear anything. She is not audible at all.
No, she is audible.
Yes, tell
hello,
me.
audible?
So I
Continue.
think there is some network issue with me. I'm just leaving the meeting in order to get a nice network connection again.
Don't leave the meeting. Just go to some another place where the connection is stable.
No, sir, she can do one thing after leaving the meeting. She can turn on the flight mode.
Okay. Yes, continue.
Yes, sir. So when we carbon sulfide is used as a solvent, and when sulfur dissolves in the carbon sulfide, then there is leftover of sawdust.
Yes.
After that, which we evaporate, and
And what? And then
and
what we do?
and and then when it evaporates, the leftover is sulfur.
Okay. Okay.
Means
So
we obtain sulfur.
silver or sulfur? Sulfur.
Sulfur.
Okay. Now sedimentation and decantation. Okay, this all of you know that sedimentation, what is that, and decantation is that. What is decantation? Basically, sedimentation is one of the technique of separating the things. Okay, the things should be solid, insoluble. Okay, one of the thing is insoluble. And what is the procedure there? This thing is gets settled down in the bottom of the liquid, and by the action of gravity, and as they get settled down, we can decant the water. Okay, so the things get separated, and sometimes what happens that the particles which are very light in weight and takes a lot of time for settling down, then what we have to do is anyone? Yes, beta, anyone? Are you listening me? Is I'm audible to everyone?
What, sir? Can you please repeat?
Sir,
Okay.
you are not clear. Little bit.
Okay, I'm trying to tell you again, okay? In sedimentation process, what we have to do, we have to separate the insoluble solid, okay, which is suspended in liquid. We all do these things in home also, sedimentation, usually, that the things which is heavier get settled at the bottom of the liquid, and then we transfer the liquid into another object, and in this way we can separate the things. Okay, and these things happens due to the action, under the action of gravity. Okay, and sometimes it
Sir, uh, sir said,
like, for example, suppose we have to take chalk and crush it and put in the water, then stir it. After some time, the chalk powder gets settled down in the bottom, and we decant the water.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We
in
have
this,
studied about sedimentation and decantation in
yes,
third
yes,
also.
yes, yes. So, what is the force responsible for the sedimentation?
Sir, it's gravity.
That's
Because
gravity.
gravity pulls everything down.
Okay, gravity makes it settles down. And one thing, if you remember sedimentation, if you read it earlier also, then tell me that sometimes what happens if you have to sediment something, and that thing is light in weight, okay, it takes time to settle in the liquid, then what you have to do? You are getting me or not?
Okay, I tell.
Wait, Nabia, let others give a chance to others
Sir,
also.
should I tell?
Nabia, beta, wait for a second. Let others
Sir, I'm
have a chance.
Munazza.
Okay, I am here to show Nabia. Okay, now Munazza. Yes. Wait, Munazza and Nabia both. Let the
All right,
others
sir.
let the others give me the answer. Yes, anyone? Ukasha, Numan.
Sir, please can you repeat the question?
I am saying that, beta, sometimes what happens that some particles are take a lot of time, or I can say they are light. They start moving on the surface of the liquid. Okay, and we have to do sedimentation for that thing. So what we have to do in order to hurry up the reaction, or in order to sediment that particles?
Sir, we have to add alum.
Why? Okay, you have to add alum, and that is called, this thing is called loading. Okay, is it clear? Loading is a process
Yes,
in
sir.
which the particles get loaded or heavier and they can settle at
Sir,
the
what
bottom.
happens when we add potash alum? Like what
Yes.
change begins to
Right,
happen when we add
The
it?
particles get heavier and they get settled down. Okay,
So why only potash alum? Any other
Not-
chemical substance?
yes, other things
It's
also
just
use.
an
Other things also
example.
use. For example, lime is also used depending upon the type which what we are
Oh, okay,
separating.
sir.
Okay,
So
you
it
see,
completely depends on the type of mixture that
type
is
of,
going to
yes,
be.
yes, type, the type which we are using. Suppose that in sewage, uh, in order to sediment the things, okay, some lime is used. Okay, so depending upon the things which we have to sediment, we have to use the loading chemicals accordingly. And there is also one thing called sediment and supernatant. What is that? Sediment and supernatant?
Sir, should I?
Should I tell?
Munazza and Nabia, please wait. What happened to the other boys and girls? Maria, Ukasha, Rehma, Khalid, Sadia, Sadaf. Yes, boys can tell, any boys can tell me?
Sir, please
Yes,
repeat.
sir.
Yes. Yes, tell
Sir,
me.
the particles which are still not dissolved, still not sediment.
Still not sediment, so they are called as
Supernatant.
super.
Supernatant.
Okay, you have a book.
Yes, sir.
So what is
Yes,
written
sir.
over here? Supernatant. The liquid, okay, which we decant.
Sir, the liquid above the sediment.
Okay, the liquid which we usually decant, that is called supernatant. Okay, and the component and the things that settles or which gets settles down is called sediment. Okay, is it clear? Remember these things. Now, what is decantation?
Sir, should I
Yes.
tell?
Okay,
Sir, should I
Nabia,
tell?
Nabia, Munazza, wait for a second.
All
Let the
right, we'll
others,
not
there
speak.
are also
We'll not
other
speak.
students also. Okay,
We are
let
sorry.
him have a chance to give me his answer, whether you are responding, the getting or not. Yes, beta. Sumaya Aziz Sheikh Fidian, are you there?
Sir,
You got the highest marks and still you are not telling anything.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir,
Tell
sir,
me,
in
beta.
decantation,
What happened to your voice, beta? Yes, tell me. Yes, tell me, beta. Continue.
I,
Sheikh Fidian, हाँ. Yes, beta.
sir, in decantation, we have two beakers or containers. In one container, we have solution, and then we are pouring that solution in another container
Yes.
in such order that only supertant will go in that, and sediment will remain in the
Remain.
first one.
Basically, it is the process of separating the liquid and the sediment part. Okay. So the liquid which we slightly tilting the things and a liquid comes out, that is called decantation. So we are decanting the thing, decanting the liquid. Is it clear, beta?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is a figure which showing decantation. Okay. Sedimentation, the thing which settles at the bottom as it is seen in figure 3.10. The thing which settles called as sediment. Here in this case, sand is the sediment, and the clear water which is over the sediment is called as supertent. And as we are pouring the water into another jar, this is called decantation. Okay. Okay.
Without disturbing the sediments.
Exactly, without disturbing the sediment. Okay, yes, boys, will you tell me, Okasha, please be online.
Yes, sir.
Is there any disadvantage of sedimentation? Don't Google, okay? Be honest to yourself. Yes, beta. Okasha, Sadia, will you tell me, please? Is there any disadvantage of sedimentation? Okay, tell me any advantage. Yasser, Sumayya Aziz. Beta, you all know, only you are not responding. Only 3-4 girls and boys are responding. From the
Yes, sir.
beginning, I am noticing this thing. Yes, beta, tell me, is any advantage of this sedimentation or any disadvantage? Give me one if you know it. Shaima, Rehan, Sumayya, Aziz, Rayyan, beta.
May I tell?
Mehta, Nadesh, sure. Tell me.
So, sir, the disadvantage of sedimentation is that so we don't get a pure water, we can say, because the particles are dirty.
Dirty?
That is why the water also gets dirty. That's why we don't always get 100% pure.
We are not get 100% pure
Yes, sir.
because some of the particles also come
Impurities
while
are still present.
some of the particles.
The
yes,
water is not that much pure that we can drink.
yes. Anyone other can tell me any disadvantage beside these?
And so there is one more disadvantage that we cannot separate which dissolve completely. For example, salt and water, they also form a solution, but by sedimentation and decantation, they cannot be removed.
Okay, for that we have to do another processes. Tell me any other example or any disadvantage, Munazza?
Is there any other disadvantage?
Yes.
So it cannot separate immiscible liquids.
Immiscible liquids.
Sir, can I tell one more?
Like
Sure.
liquid to liquid mixtures, it cannot separate.
Okay.
So we
Liquid,
can
it should
say
be
this.
solid to liquid.
Beta, listen to me. Another disadvantage is that it takes a lot of time to sediment. Okay. Usually
No,
you
sir, but it depends on the mixture which
am-
is sedimenting.
I am telling you, okay, I'm continuing my lecture. Okay. Sometimes what we have to sediment something, and in some labs I also see that they are taking more than hours, okay, for sediment the things. In that particular reactions, we have to do some coagulants used, or we have to use some loading. Okay, in that means in some of the processes of sewage treatment plant, okay, sedimentation takes a lot of time. So this is one of the disadvantage. And what is the advantage?
So it does not require chemical procedures.
Huh? Okay, this is one of the advantage. Another advantage is it is very easy. No extra effort, no extra talent is required. Anyone can do. Okay. If we do not have anything means if we do not have any apparatus, anything, then immediately we do sedimentation to separate the things. Okay, most of the part
does
is
not
Yes, sir,
separated.
we do not require chemical procedures.
Exactly. So what is then
Please set
filter?
it.
Okay, now comes to filtration. What is that, boys? Yes, boys, beta. What is filtration?
Sir,
The method of separating insoluble liquid solid components suspended in a liquid using a filter is called filtration.
Okay. Then without reading, tell me what is filtrate and what is residue? Yes. Ammar Zaid. Yes, it is not costly also. That's good.
Filtration is used to filter two immiscible liquid
Two
or
immiscible liquid. Okay.
two immiscible solid
Two
solid and
immiscible.
liquid.
Okay. Immiscible solid,
Sir,
immiscible
there are
liquid.
no immiscible solids.
Sir,
That's what I'm saying. Okay, yes. Tell me, what is residue then? Residue and filtrate. Umme Mutayyab. Yes, who is this? Yes, beta. Why they are not responding? I don't know what is the reason.
So can I tell?
Abdul Rahman
sir, may I
Salim.
tell?
Beta, wait. Abdul Rahman Salim. Azra.
Yes, sir.
Beta, please you tell me.
Sir, may
Azra, beta,
Sir,
you tell
can
me.
you please tell? Sir, can you please repeat question?
Beta, it's 48. Filtration. What is that? Azra, you tell me. Filtration, filtrate, and residue. What is that?
Sir, may I tell?
Sir, the liquid which passes through the filter can, that is called filtrate, and the component which remain on the filter can, that is called residue.
Okay, the liquid that passes through the filter is called filtrate. It means that got filtered, the filtered part, and the thing which is remain on the paper, that is called residue. Okay. So filtration we all do on daily basis, staining the tea. Okay. So chalk and powder can be separated, tea leaves can be separated using filtration. And there is also example, mud can be removed from muddy water. Okay. So is it clear filtration?
Yes.
Okay. So all know about evaporation also. That evaporation is a process, is a technique, is a method in which liquid is changes into gaseous state, and it should be below its boiling point. Okay. And evaporation, we also separate salt from water. Okay, we mix salt in water and we have to separate it. We can separate by using evaporation process. Okay, sugar is also
Sir.
separated from this also. So now anyone can tell me the difference of the disadvantage between sedimentation and filtration?
Sir, can you repeat your question, please?
Okay, I am saying that is there any disadvantage between sedimentation and filtration on this basis only? Give me fast.
So the difference between the two or the advantages of both of them?
If tell me the difference that the between the two, their disadvantage between the two.
Sedimentation
We
and
have to
filtration.
take the disadvantage of filtration and sedimentation, or
Yes,
the
yes.
difference between sedimentation and
Beta,
filtration.
you have to tell me the disadvantage. Okay, what are the demerits? Labib,
Sir.
please reply. If not, Dua Khan. Beta, mute everyone. Okay, yes, tell me fast. Basically, the first disadvantage is that already it is told by someone. It is less accurate. Sedimentation is less accurate, and filtration, as comparison to sedimentation, it is a little bit more accurate. Yes, everyone agree with this?
Yes, sir.
Sedimentation is a little bit
Filtration is more
Yes,
accurate.
sir.
accurate, and another
Yes.
the advantage is that sedimentation is more convenient to carry as compared to filtration. Munaza, please turn off your camera. Yes. Okay.
What, sir?
And one of the advantage is that sedimentation is more convenient to carry as compared to filtration. Okay. So this thing is clear now. Please tell me an activity. What is this activity basically? On page number 49.
So this
So this filtration
is the solution filtration and
Yes, beta.
evaporation.
There is an activity. Yes, Labib, will you explain this activity? To separate the components of a mixture by dissolution, filtration, and evaporation. What we are doing in this activity. Okay, in this activity, what we have did is that we have to pour the mixture of CaCO3 calcium carbonate, okay, and NaCl sodium chloride in a beaker. Okay, we make a mixture and we pour it in a beaker, and then we add some water in it, okay, and stir it till all the salt which is present get dissolved. Okay, and what happens if we require some more water, okay, for dissolving, then we take it and start dissolving the salt. Then after that, a filter paper is required. Okay, then we have to filter the things and pour the content and record what we have to do, record the observation, what part get filtered. Then heat that.
Sir, water is separated out from sand.
Yes.
Water is separated out from sand.
Water is separated out from sand. Okay, where it is sand? Yes, where it is sand? Okay, then we heat the flask. Okay, we heat the flask till the water gets dried up. Okay, and in this way, what we have observed, we observed that the NaCl part is soluble. Okay, as it gets dissolved in water, and CO3 calcium carbonate is insoluble. So CO3 CaCO3 can be filtered out and remains partially in the beaker. Okay. So in this activity, what we conclude that what is the conclusion? We're using three processes in the same experiment, in the same activity, that is dissolution. We dissolve the thing, we do filtration, okay, using filtered paper, and do evaporation. Okay. So remember this thing, in some things which we have to separate, several processes can be used in separating the things. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So dissolution,
Yes.
sedimentation, decantation, filtration. And the last topic is evaporation. Next one is separating funnel. What is that separating funnel? Yes, Munazza, please tell me this time.
All right, sir. Separating funnel.
Okay.
So separating funnel, it requires a setup,
Okay.
and it has a glass bulb,
Okay.
and it also has a cork, a tap with a stop cork,
Okay.
which is attached to the bottom of it, so that we can control how much we want to flow the liquid. It is used to separate two immiscible liquids.
Okay.
We can take a mixture of an immiscible liquid, for example, water and oil.
Okay.
And it is completely based on that the densities principle, that the liquid with lighter density will float and the liquid with heavier density will be down. So we'll pour the immiscible liquid in the glass bulb from the opening,
Hmm.
and then we'll pour in the immiscible liquid, and then it will automatically settle itself into layers. And then we'll place a beaker down the funnel, and then we'll open the stopcock, which is present at the bottom of the glass bulb, which controls the flow of the immiscible liquids. Now, when we open the stopcock, the water, the layer will be formed, so water will be down because it has heavier density than oil. So water will start coming out from the separating funnel inside the beaker. And slowly, when we'll see that the layer of water starts, it's like almost finished, then we'll stop the cork. And now we have two separate components, which are water and oil.
Basically, in this separating funnel, there is a funnel, or we can say a bulb-like glass apparatus. Okay, in that apparatus, we fill two immiscible liquids, let's say kerosene and water, and we see that different layers are formed as they are not mixed. So in that there is some opening, or we can say some switch or stop cock is there. Okay, in order to calibrate the liquid passing, or we can say in order to control the liquids. Okay, so when you open the knob, they start falling, and as the time comes where the another component start coming with the previous one, we just turn off the stopcock. In this way, using separating funnel, the immiscible liquids get separated. So is this clear, everyone? Boys?
Yes, sir, it is clear from
Yes,
my
sir.
side.
Yes. Okay. Now come to boys. Boys fast and hurry up. Who will give me the answer? Any boy from the boys side.
So what
Boys?
is the question?
Okay. So
Yes,
the
sir.
okay. Let me tell how many boys are able to answer me. First of all. Yes, how many boys are able? Just tell me. No one.
Sir, please repeat.
Ukasha, only you are ready to answer me. What about the remaining boys?
What is the question?
Beta,
What is
wait
the
for
question?
the question is tell me and conclude the separating funnel. What you have understood right now, this thing, and today's lecture also. Conclude me fast. First, conclude with separating funnel fast, because meeting is about to over. Yes, what happened, beta? So today we have discussed dissolution, sedimentation, decantation, filtration, and evaporation. Last thing is separating funnel. These are different methods of separating the things. In dissolution, sulfur powder is removed from the sawdust. Okay, in sedimentation, we see two insoluble solid which gets suspended in the liquid, and we do decantation. In filtration, we use filter paper. The things which settles on the filter paper is called residue, and the things which passes through filter paper is called filtrate. Okay, and evaporation, you all know, liquid is changes into gaseous state, and the temperature should be below its boiling point. Okay, in evaporation, mixture of sugar solution can be separated, salt solution can also be separated. In separating funnel, two immiscible liquids can separate it with the help of apparatus. Okay, and listen please, the assignment is just please try to send me the notes. Okay, send me what you have understood in these processes, in these techniques of separating the things. Please send me fast. Okay, no one is sent me last lecture. Students
Sir.
are ready to send me, but only one of
Sir,
on the app you can submit me. Okay, on the app.
Sir, I've already submitted you my
Okay, sir.
notes.